Hi, my name is Andrea Tyrimos and you are now watching UAL's Next Up.
Wait so long for you, it's been like forever. Come close to me, come close to me. Try to change the tune, that don't make it better. Your melody moves me.
When I decided that I was going to pursue art as a career, I knew that St Martin's was obviously the place to go. And I went for it, if I'm honest, not thinking, I thought I'll go for it and see what happens. I was planning on going to a local college, and when the opportunity came and they accepted me, I was just ecstatic. I thought, it's going to be really great for me to study at somewhere so established with such an amazing reputation. And yeah, so when it happened, I couldn't really say no. That's a tricky one because I always loved art growing up, and even when I was little, I remember my mum saying that I drew this elephant, and I did like all the wrinkles and all the detail, and she thought that's a bit extreme for like a little kid. So I think I always knew it was something that brought me happiness and enjoyment, but I always just saw it as a hobby, if I'm honest. And only when I got to A-level stage, and I wasn't gonna even choose art for an A-level because I thought it took up too much of my time. And I had a teacher, Amanda Bratton and Sophie Baker, who actually were really like, please just do it and see what happens. So then that was the point when I did it for A-level that I thought, do you know what, actually maybe there could be a career in this, and if I love it, then why not, let's go for it. For me, the pieces are just my experience and what's around me. So that's kind of the story. It's London life as I see it and as I experience it. And I love the idea of showing people the beauty in the ordinary. So even just a guy walking past a graffiti wall, or like these moments in time, people having a break, people having a smoke. For me, they're these really beautiful moments where I'm just trying to capture it. So that's just the story. It's not, I always, especially through uni, I would fight with this idea of having paintings that were conceptual but also aesthetically pleasing. And sometimes I felt like I was having to choose between the two, but I think you can have both. I think you can have a really beautiful piece of art that also has a meaning and a story behind it. I do like a solitary environment and being in here on my own with my dog and just getting on with it. But I also like that kind of refreshing feeling of, especially when the weather's good, and going out on the London streets and painting live. So I can't really choose. I think a bit of both, yeah, works for me, yeah. Those two are interesting pieces because it was really late at night when I went to do the kind of photography for them. I think with those ones in particular, and quite a lot of them, I've kind of maybe got kind of like a gritty undertone where I'm hinting at certain things but I'm not pushing it in your face. So like with those ones, I was kind of looking at society and the hierarchy of society, and obviously you've got these two guys like in a corner and you're questioning what they're doing and what they're up to. And again, I just like to have that kind of undertone to make people question, but also the ambiguity that it's not right there in their face. Really good question. So that was good because actually, so the brick project actually, interestingly enough, that started at St Martin's. So I was given the theme of play, and we went to Trinity Boy Wharf, East London, and that's when I first came up with the idea of camouflaging the piece into the background, and it went really well. People missed it. It was like go on a hunt for the piece, but it kind of got left and put on the back burner, and I didn't do anything with it because I was continuing my studio work. So then when the studio fire happened, initially, because obviously it's quite a big thing and I lost a lot of paintings and stuff, but I thought to myself, I'm not going to sit and cry about it, I'm going to make use of it. So that's what gave me the push to think, at the moment I can't paint in the studio because it took a lot of time to kind of refurb it and everything else. So I'm going to now take this project that I've been meaning to for like a couple of years now, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to pursue it and do it on the streets. And it was really good, and I ended up, luckily enough, being able to debut it at the Barbican Centre in London. And so yeah, that's kind of, I always think everything happens for a reason, and that was the silver lining in that situation. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, it was really an amazing feeling. It's such a well respected, you know, building and centre for London and for the arts. So to have it, to be able to exhibit there and to actually debut and like launch that brick project there, it was definitely a highlight for me. Yeah. Probably Eddie, probably Stir Crazy, yeah. Because for that one I did it during the Whitecross Street Festival, so that was really nice because I've got great memories doing it there with the Curious Duke Gallery, who is one of the galleries that represent me. And no, it was fantastic because it was just lovely being able to paint live in the sun, the kind of vibe feeding off of it. And for that piece there was the estate, I can't remember the name of it now, but there was the estate and it was blocked, the window was blocked out, and I wanted to bring the window back, so that's what I did for the piece. I kind of painted a window out of it. And one of my closest friends was at the time travelling in Nairobi, and she'd messaged me this photo of this giraffe called Eddie, who I just thought was adorable, so I thought, right, he's got to be coming out of that window. And then I called it Stir Crazy because obviously he's getting stir crazy. But yeah, that's my favourite one, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that was really good. That was quite early on. That was actually the Illumini exhibition that I did, and that was while I was still at St Martin's. So to get that kind of press while still studying was really exciting, and just, yeah, it was just lovely to see my name in print in Time Out. I would say now it's the fact that I've got a solo show coming up. Yeah, it's my debut solo show. I've always dreamt of the idea that my work would fill an entire gallery. So yeah, to have that I would say that's my proudest moment, yeah. It's going to be opening the first Thursday of June, and it's basically just a culmination of this theme of work. Well, I shouldn't really say culmination because it's definitely not going to be the end of it, because this is obviously an obsession for me. Yeah, and it's primarily London-based images and paintings that I've created for this show, and alongside it I'm also going to have some brick pieces as well, and I'm also going to be doing some live brick art in the gallery, so I'm going to have like a little residency as well. So yeah, I don't know, maybe my New York pieces that I did a few years ago, maybe just because I think those were kind of the stepping stone for me to where I am now. So I'm quite nostalgic about those pieces, and I remember again where I was at the time and being in New York and being so happy and not knowing what was going to happen for me. So yeah, maybe those, yeah. Go for it. Yeah, I think as long as you're really passionate and you're willing to accept that it's not an easy ride, I think go for it. Something that I've learned, especially going to St Martin's, it can be really challenging. You're critiqued all the time, but now I'm the better for it. You know, it gives you a tougher skin and it makes you more determined. And I think the reason they do that is because they want to weed out the people that don't really have that love for it, that pure love that you're going to just keep going because that's what you want to do. So I'd say as long as you have got that passion, you should go for it. But if you've got any doubt, then maybe it's not for you. Something else really close to my heart is to raise awareness for mental illness, and I'm doing a project at the moment where I'm painting celebrities alongside members of the public, all of whom have got bipolar disorder. So that's something completely different. It's all portraiture based and also audio, and I'm interviewing people talking about their experiences. So yeah, that's coming up as well. Hopefully either the end of this year or early next year for that one. Yeah.